Daniel was 54. He ran 3 times a week. He didn't smoke. He watched what he ate, mostly. By every standard measure, he was a healthy man. But something had shifted. Not suddenly. Gradually. Recovery after a run took longer than it used to. His skin looked older than he expected at this age. He felt a quiet gap between how he thought he should feel and how he actually felt. Nothing dramatic, nothing he could point to, just a drift. He assumed it was aging, inevitable, normal. He was wrong. Or rather, he was only half right. What was happening to Daniel has a name. It has a mechanism. And it has been quietly running inside him, inside most of us, for decades. It is called oxidative stress. And it may be the most underestimated force accelerating how fast you age. What oxidative stress actually is. Cut an apple. Leave it on the counter. Within minutes, the white flesh begins to turn brown. That is oxidation. The same process that turns iron into rust. The same process that makes a cut avocado go dark. Your body runs on oxygen. Every breath you take, every cell that produces energy, oxygen is at the center of it. But oxygen is a double-edged sword. As your cells generate energy, they produce byproducts, unstable molecules called free radicals. Think of them as sparks from a fire, a natural consequence of combustion. In small amounts, they are manageable. Your body has an entire defense system designed to neutralize them. Antioxidants, enzymes, built-in repair mechanisms. Your body has been handling this for hundreds of thousands of years. The problem is not the sparks. The problem is when the sparks outnumber the system designed to catch them. When free radicals accumulate faster than your body can neutralize them, that imbalance is oxidative stress. And it does not rust metal, it rusts your cells. Why you don't feel it. You cannot feel a free radical damaging a cell membrane. You cannot feel your DNA being nicked strand by strand. You cannot feel the mitochondria in your cells losing efficiency. You feel the consequences, years later. The slower recovery. The energy that used to be there but now requires more effort. The cognitive sharpness that feels slightly less sharp. By the time these signals arrive, the process has been running for a long time. What is accelerating the damage? Processed food and industrial seed oils. Chronic stress. Cortisol accelerates oxidative damage. Poor sleep. Nighttime is when your cells run their primary repair cycle. Environmental exposure. UV radiation, air pollution, household chemicals. And one that surprises people, extreme exercise without adequate recovery. None of these are catastrophic in isolation. Together, sustained over years, they tip the balance. What the damage does over time. His mitochondria begin to lose efficiency. His arterial walls accumulate oxidative damage. Oxidized LDL contributes most directly to plaque formation. His brain. Neurons are particularly vulnerable. Cognitive sharpness dims. At the skin level, collagen and elastin fibers, when oxidized, lose their structure. This connects to telomere shortening. Oxidative stress is one of the primary accelerators of telomere erosion. The rust spreads, slowly, silently, everywhere. The shift. His antioxidant defense system is not fixed. It is responsive. It adapts to what he gives it. The body produces its own antioxidants: glutathione, superoxide dismutase, catalase. These can be upregulated by what you eat, by how you sleep, by how you move. This is not about taking a pill and waiting. Starting with the next meal. What to eat? The colours of vegetables are not decorative, they are chemistry. The deep red of a beet, the dark blue of a blueberry, the bright orange of a sweet potato, the vivid green of broccoli. These pigments are polyphenols, flavonoids, carotenoids, compounds that directly neutralize free radicals and, more importantly, activate your body's own antioxidant pathways. Berries deserve special mention. Gram for gram, they carry some of the highest antioxidant density of any food. A handful of blueberries, strawberries, or blackberries daily is one of the simplest and most evidence-backed interventions available. Cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, kale, activate something called the NRF2 pathway. This is your body's master antioxidant switch. It does not just neutralize free radicals, it turns up the production of your body's own defense systems. Green tea. The compound EGCG is one of the most studied antioxidants in the literature. 2 cups a day is enough to be meaningful. Dark chocolate, above 70% cacao, contains flavonols that have demonstrated real effects on oxidative markers in clinical studies. Not a license for excess, but a genuine addition. And again, olive oil, extra virgin. The polyphenols in quality olive oil are directly anti-inflammatory and antioxidant. It is not a coincidence that Mediterranean populations, where oxidative diseases appear later, center their diet around it. You do not need a perfect plate. You need a consistent shift toward color, variety, and whole foods. Sleep and the repair window. Melatonin. Most people think of it as just a sleep hormone, but it is more than that. It is one of the most powerful antioxidants your body can produce, and it only rises when you truly sleep. During deep sleep, something quiet but critical begins. The damage from the day addressed. Cellular repair systems activated. Your brain begins to clean itself through a system most people have never heard of, the glymphatic system. It clears waste, toxins, oxidative byproducts that have been building all day. This is not passive. This is maintenance. Now consider this. Even a single night of poor sleep is enough to measurably increase oxidative stress markers within 24 hours. One night. And when that becomes a pattern, short sleep, broken sleep, your cells never get the window they need to repair what is accumulating. So the damage doesn't stop. It compounds, night after night. Sleep is not just recovery from the day. It is the reset that makes the next day possible without carrying yesterday's damage forward. And here is what most people miss. Consistency matters as much as duration. Not just how long you sleep, but when you sleep. Even a 30-minute improvement in sleep consistency begins to shift oxidative stress markers within weeks. Quietly, but measurably. Movement and the antioxidant paradox. Exercise creates oxidative stress. And that is not a flaw in the system. It is the reason the system adapts. Every time you move, every time your muscles demand energy, free radicals are produced. But in the right amount, that signal is beneficial because your body responds. It increases its own defenses, more glutathione, more superoxide dismutase, more antioxidant protection. Your system upgrades itself in response to the challenge. This is called hormesis, a small stressor that makes the organism stronger. And this principle appears everywhere in biology. Not too little, not too much. Just enough stress to force adaptation without causing damage. And that word matters. Moderate. Because exercise can also cross the line. Extreme training without recovery does the opposite. Too many free radicals, too much inflammation, too much breakdown without enough repair. Especially when sleep is poor, when nutrition is inadequate, when the system never gets a chance to recover. The goal is not exhaustion. The goal is adaptation. A daily walk, resistance training 2 or 3 times a week. Enough movement to activate the signal. Not so much that you overwhelm the very system you are trying to strengthen. The environment you live in. Some of the damage is not coming from inside you. It is coming from the environment around you. The air you breathe, the light hitting your skin, the chemicals your body absorbs every single day. Take UV radiation. Most people think sunscreen is cosmetic, about appearance. It is not. UV exposure is one of the most aggressive sources of oxidative stress your body encounters. Wrinkles, loss of elasticity, premature skin aging. Much of it is not simply getting older. It is oxidative damage written visibly onto the skin. Then there is the air itself, especially in urban environments. Tiny particles, small enough to enter the bloodstream, increase oxidative load throughout the body, the heart, the lungs, even the brain. And this is where something interesting happens. Time spent in nature, parks, forests, coastlines, is consistently associated with lower oxidative stress markers. Not because nature is magical, because biology responds to environment. And then there are the things people rarely think about. The products used on the skin, the chemicals breathed in at home, the synthetic compounds absorbed over years without a second thought. This is not about fear, and it is not about perfection. It is about reducing unnecessary load where you realistically can, because every exposure is another signal, and signals compound. You cannot control everything, but you can control far more than you think. The close. 6 months after Daniel stopped ignoring the signals, something began to change. Not all at once. Not dramatically, but noticeably. Recovery after his runs became easier. The crashes became less frequent. The energy felt steadier. He noticed it first in the mornings. The body did not feel like it was fighting itself the moment the day began. And no, he did not erase 20 years of oxidative damage in 6 months. That is not how biology works. But biology responds to direction. And direction, sustained over years, becomes destiny. This is the part most people misunderstand about aging. Oxidative stress is not simply bad luck. It is not written permanently into your genetics. It is a response to the environment your cells live in, to the signals they receive every single day. The food, the sleep, the movement, the stress, the light, the air, the recovery. And that means something important. The trajectory can change. Not through perfection, not through obsession, but through repeated signals that tell the body repair instead of breakdown, reduce the load, strengthen the defense. Give your cells the conditions they were designed to function in. In the next video, we go deeper into the third force, cellular senescence, the aging cells that stop functioning properly but refuse to die, and what happens when they begin accumulating inside the body. The system is always running. The question is never whether it is active, only this: who is in control?